Good evening and welcome to News 9. I'm Nolan Pinto. Now, looks like rowdy sheeter Brigade Azam campaigning for Rizwan Arshad has created problems for both himself and the party. The BJP has filed a complaint with the Election Commission against Rizwan for campaigning with the rowdy sheeter. Now, Brigade Azam has been taken into preventive custody by the police. Now, Brigade Azam was arrested as a preventive measure by the Shivaji Nagar police. He was produced before the Tahsildar. In fact, let's now listen into what Rizwan Arshad had to say.
ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಜನರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋದಾಗ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ನನ್ನ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಇಂದ ನನ್ನ ರ್ಯಾಲೀಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅಪಾರವಾದಂತ ಜನ 25-30 ಸಾವಿರ ಜನ ಸೇರಿದ್ವಿ. ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ದಿವಸ ನಾನು ಜಾಬ್ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ 3 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ 3 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ರಾತ್ರಿ ಹೊತ್ತು ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಏರಿಯಾ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆದಾಗ ಆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಬಂದು ನಿಂತವನು. ನಾನು ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಫೋಟೋ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು ಯಾರು ಅಂತಂದು ಒಂದು ಹೆಸರು. ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು 2-3 ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅವನು ನಮ್ಗೆ 2-3 ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಆವಾಗಲೇ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು. ನನಗೆ ಬಹಳ ನೋವಾಯ್ತು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇನ್ನೂ ನಾನು ಬೆಳೆದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಂಟಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯುವಕರಿಗೆ, ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಯುವಕರಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ನೋವಾಗಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
Well, from on this, I'm joined by my colleague Arun. Arun, Rizwan Arshad clearly stating over there that he feels hurt by what has happened and that, he is now growing as a politician and he did not call Brigade Azam over there.
Nolan, that seems to be the issue at this point of time, but clearly this particular person in question, Brigade Azam, has a very dubious track record. In fact, there are 2 or 3 cases which have been registered against him in the Pulakeshi Nagar police station limits. One relating to a life threat being issued against somebody, one attempt to murder, and one more relating to kidnapping. But besides this, also remember there was recently an issue of a jewelry store being stolen. And that particular jewelry store owner, a person by name Sadiq Pasha, had actually blamed...
Right, Arun, I'm going to place you on hold for a moment. We now joined in by Mr. P.C. Mohan, who is the BJP's candidate from Bangalore Central. Mr. Mohan, what do you have to say about Brigade Azam finally being arrested by the police?
ಇದು ನಿನ್ನೆಯಿಂದ ಟಿವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ನೋಡಿ ಜನರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಭಯ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇವಾಗ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಕೊಡುವಂತದ್ದು ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನತೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗೃಹ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಜೊತೆನೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ರೌಡಿ ಶೀಟರ್ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಜನರು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಬಹಳ ಭಯ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜನ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ವೋಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬಂದು ವೋಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು, ಮತದಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೋಟ್ಯಾಂತರ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟೀಸು ಕೂಡ ಹೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದು ವೋಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಈ ತರ ರೌಡಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಗೃಹ ಮಂತ್ರಿನೇ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಜನರು ಭಯ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Now, Mr. P.C. Mohan, the first question is, aren't the police supposed to arrest or take all these anti-social elements before elections into preventive custody?
ಹೌದು, ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಆ ತರ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಆ ತರ.
But they did not do. The police actually did not take him into preventive custody.
ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಇರ್ತದೋ ಈ ತರ ರೌಡಿಗಳದ್ದು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಈ ತರ ಚುನಾವಣೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅವರು.
Mr. Mohan, along with him, the Home Minister was there, other senior leaders were there. Do you think that they did not know who he was? Are they lying?
No. ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 100 ಜನ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯಾರೋ ಇದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಜೀಪಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಇವನು 5 ಜನ ಇರೋದು, 5-6 ಜನರ ಜೊತೆ ಇವನೊಬ್ಬ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋರ್ನೇ ಕುಂಡ್ರಿಸ್ಕೋತಾರ ಜೀಪಲ್ಲಿ.
All right. Now, Rizwan Arshad spoke just now. He said that he was campaigning from 3 o'clock and this particular rowdy sheeter joined in later in the evening. Can we actually state that he did not know about this and suddenly all these people just came in there?
ನೋ 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 ಆ ತರ ನಾವು ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ತಿಳಿದಿರೋರೇ ಜೀಪ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹತ್ತುತ್ತಾರೆ. ತಿಳಿದಿರೋರು ಯಾರೋ ಜೀಪ್ ಹತ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರಾ? ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋರೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋರು ಇವರು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯವರೇ ಸೇರಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಕುಂಡ್ರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು.
Okay. Mr. Mohan, well, you're campaigning now, and if you see these people coming over there, what action will you take?
ನಾವು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಚೀಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದು ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ ನ ಏನೊಂದು ಚುನಾವಣೆ ನಿಂತಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ವಜಾಗೊಳಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
All right. Mr. Mohan, finally, about your campaigning now, what if you're campaigning over there and some rowdy element comes there? What will you do? What action will you take against that person?
ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇದು ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಶಾಂತಿ ಕಾಪಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಪಕ್ಷದವರು ಕೂಡ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ವಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ನಮಗೆ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಶಾಂತಿ ಕಾಪಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಆ ತರ ಶಾಂತಿ ಕಾಪಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಪೊಲೀಸರು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು.
Okay. Now, are you seeking action against Brigade Azam and Rizwan or against all the people who were there? Roshan Beg was there. Other senior Congress leaders were also present.
Letter ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ.
Against whom? Action against whom to be taken?
Ministers ಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ ಇಬ್ಬರ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ.
All right, Mr. P.C. Mohan, thank you very much for speaking to us. That was P.C. Mohan, the BJP Lok Sabha candidate from Bangalore Central, stating that what has happened there is actually not good, and that's the reason why they have filed a complaint with the Election Commission against not just the candidate, the Congress candidate, Rizwan Arshad, but also against all those senior leaders who were present when Brigade Azam was present along with them. Well, in fact, it looks like rowdy sheeter Brigade Azam campaigning for Rizwan Arshad has created problems for both himself and the party. The BJP has filed a complaint with the Election Commission against Rizwan for campaigning with the rowdy sheeter. Meanwhile, Brigade Azam has been taken into preventive custody. He was arrested as a preventive measure by the Shivaji Nagar police. He was also produced before the Tehsildar. Now, it is the job of the police to take all rowdy sheeters into preventive custody before elections. But somehow, the police did not do that for Brigade Azam. Now, coming back to you, Arun. Arun, this is the first question I actually asked P.C. Mohan, who we spoke to just now, the BJP candidate for Bangalore Central Lok Sabha constituency. And he said that the police should have actually taken Azam into preventive custody before the onset of campaigning.
That's right, Nolan, but there seems to have been some kind of a slip between the cup and the lip. But then also remember the fact is it's definitely while a condonable thing. Remember yesterday there was this curious statistics which was released where names of leaders with criminal cases being lodged against them was discussed and debated. So that also raises the questions. While it's fair to say that somebody is guilty, you will have to look at your own backyard to figure out whether everything is hunky-dory with you. So clearly the fault lines lie with both sides. There is a bit of soul searching that both groups will have to do, because while one person or one group has actually sought the assistance of not so desirable socially undesirable element to canvass, the other group also is not that very clean, in the sense they have people who have cases lodged against them. So clearly both the political parties need to do a lot of soul searching at this point of time, Nolan.
Now, Arun, can you give us more information about who exactly this rowdy sheeter is?
Nolan, as I said a little bit earlier, this particular person is about 40 years, and he has apparently got 3 cases registered against his name under the Pulakeshi Nagar police station limits, while one of the cases relates to a threat to kill somebody The second one relates to an attempt to murder, and the third one is which happened recently, in the sense it happened in 2003, was with relationship to a kidnap attempt to kidnap a person. So clearly, 3 cases being registered against this particular person, Azam, and more recently, there was an instance where a prominent jewelry store was actually robbed in the city, and at that point of time, the owner of the jewelry store had gone on to point fingers at this particular person, Azam, and said that his people were the ones who were involved. In return, actually, Azam's relatives and associates pointed a finger at the owner of the jewelry store, Sadiq Pasha, claiming that he actually was running a dubious travel agency racket and had defrauded several people of crores of rupees on the promise of taking them on the holy Hajj pilgrimage, Nolan.
Now, it's also very strange. Now, in this particular photo, which the audience can see on the right side of their television screen, you can see Rizwan Arshad, Roshan Beg, and Brigade Azam. Without you knowing the politicians or these particular candidates, you will not be allowed to stand over there next to them. So it's strange when they say they did not know who he was.
That indeed is a very soul-searching kind of reply, Nolan. As you rightly pointed out, it's very difficult. All and sundry cannot go up on a stage and campaign for a particular person. Remember, these campaignings happen on the basis of the kind of profile of leaders, on the kind of backing they have, etc. So clearly, somebody would have had some information about this particular person. Why that information was not shared, or was that shared and then willfully concealed, etc., needs to be probed at this point of time. But clearly, this is a very disturbing development, in the sense that we are having people who are not really sociable elements of society coming across and helping to campaign or canvass on behalf of certain political parties' representatives, Nolan.
Now, this is the problem that we are facing over here. You have a lot of candidates with criminal antecedents, and a lot of candidates also who make sure that they are seen with all these criminals, rowdy sheeters, in order to gain votes.
Nolan, it appears that there is a very thin line between winnability and acceptability, Nolan. Remember, the heat of the election is currently on, and political parties are doing their level best. Remember, both sides are racing towards that coveted mark of 272 to form the next government at Delhi. So clearly,